Hi, welcome back. We have some fantasy football now. Our guy D Nasty is back. Finally losing my voice, Dave. Maybe a little too much Vegas this weekend.
I hear you. I'm gonna be going there in 2 weeks, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're going right back to the circuit too, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, that place is gold, man. I had a blast. Well, you let me know if you need anything. I'll see if I can help out in any way I can. But they're so generous there and so cool. I'm sure you're going to find your way anyway. These are like the top line casino host and casino owner, obviously, in the whole strip. So it's certainly wonderful. I'm jealous you're going, but it's Monday, so I'm okay. I had my fill for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Watching some games on the big screens there in the pool.
Heck, oh, the stadium swim is the best. Well, let's talk some fantasy football then, my man. We got some rankings. We're going to do some sleepers, a little bit in the top five. So I guess first question I want to ask you, it's everyone's draft this week. I mean, I'm a little bit different than the consensus top five. Who is your top five in what order?
All right, great. So my top five, this is going to be in a half-point PPR. So I still like Justin Jefferson as my number one. He's a stud. He can single-handedly win your league for you. Justin Jefferson, number one. Christian McCaffrey, by far and away the top draft pick at running back. I like him at number two. At number three, I do like Bijan Robinson. I know a lot of people are going to be surprised by this pick, but I do like Bijan Robinson at number three. At four, I got Austin Eckler. Those guys could be flip-flopped probably there too, but I like Bijan just because they're going to run the ball a lot there. He's gonna be catching a lot of balls then as well. So in the half PPR, he's going to be a little bit more valuable than Eckler. Eckler's still going to get you some catches as well, but I think they're going to be more spread out with the new offensive coordinator there though too as well. And then my next pick is going to be Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is by far and away the top tight end in the league. The half-point PPR, he's going to be far and above any tight end that's actually going to be out there. There's him, and then there's everyone else. So I like Travis Kelce with the fifth overall.
I'm not too far from you. I have Christian McCaffrey numbered one just because I believe his load is going to be his workload is going to be huge because I just don't think the quarterback Purdy is really quite ready yet, and I'm not sure he's going to be trusted. I'm going to see a lot of Deebo Samuel in the backfield too, so I kind of like him a little later. But I think CMC is number one. Justin Jefferson is number two. So that's how I have it. And then I have Jamar Chase. I have Austin Eckler and not Bijan. And then I have Kelsey, whatever you want to say, number five. And I totally agree. Kelsey's just been a top 15 guy. Actually, he's probably been just an undrafted top five for the last 4 or 5 years. It's crazy. People just keep downgrading him in the beginning of the draft a little bit. It's not enough. You should bring him up. I think Bijan will be great, maybe. But the problem is, if that quarterback Ritter doesn't turn out, they're stacking the box, and that's the only worry I have for Bijan, Dave.
But he can actually they're gonna put him up wide a couple times once in a while though too to get some receptions and line up as a wide receiver too, which I kind of like though too. And the only thing that worries me about CMC is in the past he's been known to get injured, and I think Elijah Mitchell's going to get some carries there as well too. Plus he's screwed me a few times in the past too, so I'm a little sore about that still from past.
Hey man, these screwed us all in certain leagues, but hey man, now he's with a great coach, and maybe he's figured out how to stay healthy a little bit. Sometimes players just learn how to land a little bit better after being in the league a while. Well, that's good stuff. We're not, instead of going to sleepers right now, let's just go to sleepers in our positional group. So basically, we'll just do a simple exercise where you give me a top 10, I'll give you a top 10, then we'll go over our sleepers. And then we'll move on to the next position group. Why don't we start with running backs, and why don't you start with your top 10?
All right, sounds good. My top 10 for running backs, of course, Christian McCaffrey at number one. Even though I have Bijan at number two, even though I had him flip-flopped in my overall rankings, I do like Bijan number two. I got Eckler number three, Nick Chubb at number four. Number five, I do like Tony Pollard a lot like this year. The only worries I have with him is just staying healthy. If he stays healthy, he's going to be a stud. Number six, I got Derrick Henry. Number seven, Saquon Barkley. Number eight, Josh Jacobs, who just signed now, so I do like him in the first round. Number nine, I still have Jonathan Taylor. I think by tomorrow we should know where he's going, and he's still going to be a number one pick. So I like him at number nine. At number 10, Ramad Stevenson. Even though with Zeke there, I think he's still going to get a bulk of the carries there. Zeke might vulture a few goal line TDs from him, but overall, I think he's still going to be a stud running back and get majority of the carries there too as well. And then I just had on the outside of that top 10, Travis Etienne, who I really like a lot as well.
Yeah, ETN made my top 10. I'll just quick share here, but it's not too far different than the most consensus CMC, then Eckler, then Bijan Robinson, then Nick Chubb, actually. And this is half point PPR, by the way, just to disclose everybody. We'd like to cut it right in the middle. Saquon Barkley is just going to be a workhorse this year because they're probably not going to resign him next year. They're going to just work him to death. Tony Pollard. And then I have ETN at number 7. So I moved him up a bit. I like Trevor Lawrence throwing to him a little bit too. Joe Mixon, I have at number 8. Took a team-friendly contract. Josh Jacobs was a workhorse last year, and I suppose they're going to do it again this year. And they did up his pay a little bit, which was nice for him. And then Najee Harris, I have at number 10. Some of the and I just kind of put red for the people I dropped here, and blue is not sleeper but undervalued. I kind of think Javonte Williams at number 16, and he's number 27 in some, is going to get a lot more play in this system just because I've seen Sean Payton and how he's used Alvin Kamara before. I just feel like Javonte Williams jumps up a little bit. Derrick Henry definitely goes down this year a little bit from 7 to 15. Breece Hall is down now because of Cook. Isaiah Pacheco, I moved up a little higher, is 29 in many consensus. I have him at number 20. Jonathan Taylor, I moved down to 22 from 9. The consensus is 9, but here's the thing, Dave. I'll probably move him up a little bit as soon as I find out where he lands. You know, I'm guessing it might be Miami even, but I'll move him up. Full disclosure there. Khalil Herbert's kind of a blue. A couple of my other busts are Cam Akers down to 32, Miles Sanders at 34, J.K. Dobbins at 36, Devin Achane. Is it Achane or Achane? I forget.
Achane.
Okay. Yeah, he's number 38. Instead of 47 consensus, he's a little bit of a mini sleeper for me. Unless Taylor goes to Miami, then that's going to change too. Wherever Taylor goes is going to change any of this. So just remember
change the landscape for that team wherever he goes. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. And then a couple sleepers I have is Deuce Vaughn for Dallas. I think he's going to get a lot of the rest. Pollard. They're going to rest Pollard a little bit and give it to Vaughn. Kenneth Gainwell for Philly was a little bit too low. And Keontae Ingram I have as a sleeper for Arizona. I think he's going to get some play later in the season when Connor's sick of losing. A little bit of it.
Always hurt.
Yeah, for sure. Keyshawn Vaughn I have as kind of a deeper sleeper too, moving from 100 to 65. I think he's going to possibly get more play as Rachaad White kind of depreciates. So that's what I have, my friend. Who are your sleepers and busts?
All right. Some of my sleepers I do like a lot, actually. Some of the guys we were talking about too, but the 3 guys I really like this year is going to be James Cook. I definitely have him moving up my boards. I think he's going to be the workhorse for the Buffalo Bills. I do like Rachaad White again. All the stuff I keep reading on him is he's going to be the workhorse. He's going to be a 3 down back for the Buccaneers. I like him a lot. Javonte Williams I do like a lot. I think he's going to have a good year once he's healthy. It sounds like he is healthy. Isaiah Pacheco, I'm actually moving him down my draft boards. Actually, they're saying that he's still injured. He's coming off the shoulder injury. He was banged up too with another injury as well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and McKinnon are both going to get some carries there too. They said Clyde Edwards-Helaire might actually get more carries than you think at the beginning of the year. So he's ranked pretty highly. I don't like him still. Very injury prone. He's more just receiving back. He's not really good at running between the tackles. I'm not a big fan of him as well. I do like Khalil Herbert as well. I like him. I think he's going to be the lead back for the Bears. They're saying he's the far and away the number 1 there, even with Foreman there. They were even talking about Foreman getting cut possibly. I don't know if you heard that as being a Bears fan, but there were rumors that Foreman was actually possibly going to get cut today or tomorrow. So that was very interesting. We'll wait and see on that actually. Jalen Warren is another sleeper I like later on. If Harris struggles again, he can get to see more carries this year. Bigsby too. I think he spells ETN, or if ETN gets hurt, he's kind of a deeper sleeper. I do like Gainwell as well too, which you had as well.
Yeah, Jalen Warren, I can see him for sure there. I have no disagreement there. So Interesting on Rashad White. My problem is that I just think Tampa's going to be so bad that they're going to kind of put him on a shelf later. So that's why I kind of liked Keyshawn Vaughn a little bit more as a sleeper, possibly for later in the season or something like that. Maybe someone stack away. I don't even know if you draft him, but he would be there. All right, let's move to wide receivers then. On my top 10's Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, which is a little different. CD Lamb is 4. I moved up CD a little bit. Cooper Kupp is 5. A little nervous for Cooper Kupp this year. I don't know why. Just something feels weird there. Tyreek Hill is number 6. I had to downgrade him just on the Tua injury possibilities, but his ceiling, Tyreek Hill's ceiling is number 1. His floor is kind of low, so I don't like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown is number 7. A.J. Brown, number 8. Devontae Adams, number 9. And Deebo Samuel, I moved up to number 10 from a consensus 19. I think he's going to get a lot of carries this year to give some of that PPR, Dave. So who's your top 10? And then you can just go right into your sleepers.
Sounds good. I like Justin Jefferson, number 1. Jamar Chase, number 2. I have Tyreek Hill at number 3. I have Stephon Diggs at 4. Cooper Kupp at 5. Cooper Kupp does worry me as well, coming off injury last year, and he's banged up already this preseason as well. And Stafford throwing to him. Stafford does like him a lot, though, but I do have worries with him as well. Big on CD Lamb this year at number 6. A.J. Brown at 7. Amon-Ra St. Brown at 8. I really like him a lot. Devontae Adams at 9. Even with Garoppolo throwing to him, I still like him a lot. And 10, I have Garrett Wilson. I like him a lot this year as well. He's one of my sleepers, even though he's my top 10. I like him a lot this year as one of my sleepers.
Well, is he really sleeper? I mean, he's top 10 in most consensus.
Yeah, you can't. That's what I'm saying. He can't really be a sleeper, but I like him as one of my top guys you're grabbing in the first couple rounds. I like him as a higher ADP guy that you're going to grab higher than his ADP. So it's not technically a sleeper, but I'm grabbing him above his ADP probably, so I do get some shares of him as well.
Makes sense.
And
some sleepers?
I do have some sleepers as well. I like Christian Watson, my boy from Green Bay. He's fast, and I think Jordan Love's going to develop a connection with him. I do like him this year. I think Deontay Johnson bounces back this year and has a big year. Some of my busts are going to be the Tampa Bay guys, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. With Baker Mayfield there, I think he just kills their fantasy value there. I do not like them. Zay Flowers, I'm moving him down my boards too. They just got too many receiving options there now. They went from having barely any to Odell Beckham, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, who I do like. Rashad Bateman is one of my sleepers actually this year. I do like Rashad Bateman a lot. He came on gangbusters last year until he got injured. But then once he was injured, that kind of derailed his fantasy value. But I do like him. I like Kadarius Toney too as well. It sounds like he will be back for week 1, so I do like him. Another sleeper I do like is going to be Nico Collins. I think if he stays healthy, he can have a big year as well without any other really top receivers other than Robert Woods. But I think he passes Robert Woods as the number 1 guy there.
Oh, nice. I agree with that. I think Christian Watson could be great if Love turns out all right. Love looked pretty good in preseason. We'll get to quarterbacks here in a few, but he turned out pretty good in preseason, I thought. So we'll see if that filters into the regular season. So my sleepers are kind of like first, my undervalued guys. Deebo is 1, obviously. Mike Williams, I think, is much higher than 28 consensus. I think he's really the better one.
I do like Mike Williams as well. But they said that Keenan Allen's been getting a lot of that. They're saying he's going to be their number 1 guy, and they're developing the offense around him, actually, they're saying this year, around Keenan Allen, which was pretty shocking.
They do. They say that every year. It's stupid. I don't understand it. Williams is better, and he's more healthy usually. You know, it's yeah, Keenan Allen's had so many injuries. It makes no sense. And then they end up just going deep to Mike Williams, and he makes massive plays. So George Pickens will be a sleeper of mine. I moved him up from 36 to 22. I think he's going to be good. Looks like Kenny Pickett's looking okay. Kadarius Toney, I moved up a little bit too. I think as long as he stays healthy, big if, he's deserves a higher rating than 51. He's at 33 for me. Jalen Hyatt is my sleeper for the Giants, Dave. I think Jalen Hyatt is going to get some much more play than most people think out there in New York land. And New York doesn't have a ton of people throw to. I know that Washington's still there, but he still could be beat up from last year too. So
he's one of my deep sleepers. I like Hyatt a lot. I like Puka Nuka actually as well for the Rams. Those are my 2 deeper sleepers, but I agree with you definitely on Hyatt. I like him a lot as well.
Nice. I like Marvin Mims a little bit for Denver. A couple of my busts is Treylon Burks for Tennessee. He certainly took a big hit, and he didn't do much last year. So they got Hopkins for a reason now. So I don't like Burks as much, but not a ton of bad busts. Just moved a few down, but
I think Chase
No,
Claypool too. I forgot to mention. I don't like him as well this year either. Actually, I know he's your bear, but training camp they weren't too high on him. He's kind of been pouting about a little bit about in camp, and he's always banged
yeah,
up.
I'm concerned about him too. He's always banged up. Now, let's move to quarterbacks here. I'll just quickly blow through my top 10. Really, no surprises here. It's Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, a little bit higher, and then Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. I downgrade Jackson a little bit, just but not a lot, just because he could still get hurt like he did last year, and I just don't think the Ravens is gonna throw for all those yards he talks about. I'm just not. I haven't. You got to prove it to me. He had that one MVP season. Let's see it again. Trevor Lawrence. I have next. I considered moving Trevor over Lamar. I was really close to doing that. By the way, I have Deshaun Watson a little bit higher than most people at number 8. I have Dak Prescott at number 9, and I have Justin Fields downgraded a little bit. I think that a lot of consensus has him in the 5 or 6 spot now. I think the 10 spot is fine for Fields and maybe even a little lower. So that's where I have my quarterbacks. Dave, who are yours?
Yeah, I think Fields does struggle still throwing the ball. Actually, he's an unbelievable runner, but he still can't throw the ball. I don't think. Number 1, I got Patrick Mahomes. 2, I got Jalen Hurts. 3, Josh Allen. 4, Trevor Lawrence. So I did move him ahead of Lamar Jackson. Actually, 5, Lamar Jackson. 6, Joe Burrow. 7, Justin Fields. 8, Justin Herbert. 9, I got Tua, who actually, if he can stay healthy, I think has a great year. And at number 10, Anthony Richardson.
If you're remember from last year, Dave called Justin Herbert Hair Bear, so he might do that for Khalil and Justin Herbert all year. So that might drive me nuts.
I will actually.
Any just a couple sleepers for quarterbacks.
A couple sleepers I really like. I like Kenny Pickett actually this year is one I really like, and Jordan Love. I really like him. I think Jordan Love's looked good in the preseason. Kenny Pickett has as well. Both getting their chance to start again this year. Pickett, the second year starting now. Jordan Love getting his chance to start this year. Got quite a bit of preseason work. Actually, I'm pretty high on Purdy as well too. I think if he's fully healthy, the first couple weeks he may struggle a little bit, just getting healthy and just getting his feet under him again. But once he's established there again, I think Purdy could put up some big numbers again. And another sleeper I really like, Sam Howell, starting quarterback for the Washington Redskins. I think he's got the weapons there to succeed. Yeah. He looked pretty good last year in a couple of limited starts last year. I do like him actually as well a lot. Ryder is kind of a deep sleeper for me. I like him as a deep sleeper. Some guys are moving down. Mac Jones, he kind of struggled a little bit last year. He's got an offensive coordinator, but I still think he struggles a little bit. Kyler Murray, when he's back, I think he's still going to be rusty when he comes back. I don't like him. Baker Mayfield, not high on him. Definitely moving him down my draft boards as well. And then actually the Arizona Cardinals quarterback, whoever that is, I'm moving them down right now to
Josh Dobbs now.
It's just confusing to me now. They cut Colt McCoy today. Joshua Dobbs sounds like he might be the starter, but it could be Clayton Tune though too as well. So we'll see who the starter is there because Dobbs doesn't really know the playbook yet. So that's kind of confusing that they would start Dobbs over Tune. And it
just shows you they don't want to win, my friend. They do not want to win.
I think they're tanking this year, my friend.
I definitely agree. I agree. They're tanking. I mean, I have a lot of more busts. It's almost like you read this, except for one of them. I have Kenny Pickett, Jordan Love, and Sam Howell as kind of sleepers, at least higher than where the consensus is. I have Kenny Pickett at 11, Jordan Love at 14, and Sam Howell at 22. Definitely upside. I do have Mac Jones one step up over Sam Howell. A lot of the consensus is Mac at 30. I disagree with that. I thought that was too low. But become my bust is I already said Fields is a little too high. Tua is a bust because I just think he can get hurt again. So I wouldn't draft him high. I draft him right in the middle, 16. Just first, like maybe on the edge of a backup, but could be a starter. But prepare for him to go out. If you draft Tua, you make sure you draft like Geno Smith or Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. I'm not even sure if I trust Wilson this year. I probably should have downgraded him.
He's probably one that I would downgrade as well. Wilson scares me too. But with Payton there, I think it's going to help. But I don't know. We'll see if Wilson's got it or not.
Look at this. I got all these young quarterbacks: Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Matt Stafford all busts. Now, Richardson should get some yards, but I think he's going to get hurt. And this team's pretty bad over there. They're look what they did to Jonathan Taylor. He's such a good dude too. I do.
Richardson can have a good year because that's going to take some pressure off of Richardson. But if Taylor goes,
He better throw the ball then because they're going to stack the box. It's like they were going to expect his run. So that only worked a little while for Cam Newton. We'll see how long it works. Well, so for the sake of time, let's just jump over to tight ends then. And pretty simple. Kels, obviously, so easy. But I did move up George Kittle. I don't know why he dropped so far in the consensus to 5. He still should be number 2 for me. Mark Andrews is number 3, in my opinion. It's still Lamar throwing to him. TJ Hawkinson, number 4. And Darren Waller, I have number 5, which I'm not in love with. But at the same time, Goddard, problem with him, he's number 6. There's too many players in Philly. There's too many mouths to feed over there. Yeah. And that's why he's not as high. Kyle Pitts is number 7, who's really teetered on bustability lately. Dalton Kincaid's finally my sleeper. I moved him to 8. I think he's going to be a slot receiver and a tight end, and I think he's going to take over, not the first game or nothing, but over for Dawson Knox. I think he's going to take over, but he doesn't block. I don't think he might block a little bit, but I just don't see him as blocking. So running plays, he might be a distraction, but mostly out. Then I have Pat Freiermuth at number 9 for Pittsburgh. He's been pretty good, and David Njoku. One thing I want to say about tight ends, Dave, if you're not getting Kels or Kittle, I guess I would wait. I wouldn't take anybody to. I mean, why burn a number 2 receiver or a number 2 running back or number 3 running back on like a Mark Andrews or TJ Hawkinson or Waller? I wouldn't. You agree with that?
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I think in most of my drafts, I'm not taking a tight end to at least the 8th or 9th round. I'm filling in all the rest of my starters first. Even in my league last night that we drafted in, I didn't even take a tight end. I don't think until the 9th or 10th round. So I still got some decent tight ends. But I'll break mine down here quickly though as well. Travis Kelce 1. I got Mark Andrews at 2. I think he still gets a lot of targets. He's still one of Lamar Jackson's favorite targets. So I think if healthy this year, he can have a big year still. He has like he did a couple years ago. TJ Hawkinson, I have him at 3. He played well with the Vikings last year. 4, I got Waller. 5, Kittle. Kittle's been injured a lot over the last couple of years, and they do have a lot of weapons now in Frisco, so I moved him down a little bit. Pitts 6, I do agree with you that he's borderline bust, though. 7, Goddard. 8, I like Evan Ingram. 9, Freiermuth. And then I got 10, Njoku. A couple of sleepers I really do like. Kincaid, I like him as well. I almost moved him into my top 10. I do actually like Sam Laporta, another rookie. I know rookie tight ends usually don't do that well, but they're going to throw to him a lot. Other than Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think that he's going to get a lot of targets. Luke Musgrave, I like him as well. Another sleeper that I'm moving up my boards. I think Love will look to him quite a bit, actually, and his inaugural season as the starter.
Oh, totally. I don't disagree with that. Musgrave is definitely a sleeper for me. I have him right here at number, I think 16 or 15 or something like that, down from 34 in some consensus. I think Musgrave will be good in Green Bay. Also, Michael Mayer is a little bit higher than a lot of people have him there for Vegas, especially if Devontae Adams decides to just freak out and leave. He hasn't been exactly so happy with this organization, right? Yeah, that's why Adams ain't a top receiver for me either. I should have mentioned Devontae Adams and how that's a little dangerous for me. Couple busts are Evan Ingram and Dalton Schultz. I don't think Dalton Schultz is really anything to write home about. I think it was just a victim of that offense from the Cowboys.
With the rookie quarterback too. I don't know how much he's going to be a security blanket for the rookie quarterback, but I don't know how much and how many targets he gets this year either. So we'll see.
He was also hurt, so that's always a question about how well he comes back and stuff. So that's interesting. Well, good stuff, Dave. And did you mention your bust for tight ends? Mine were just Evan Ingram and Schultz. Yeah,
the ones that Greg Dulcich. I know he was a big guy last year that everyone was really high on last year. I think
Dulcich, yeah.
Dulcich, yep. I'm moving him down boards. Mike Gesicki, I'm moving him down boards too. They have Hunter Henry there. Hunter Henry's been looking really good. And Zach Ertz, I'm moving him kind of down my boards too. He's been injured the last couple of years. I think he's getting a little bit older. I don't know how good he's going to be with the Cardinals as well.
Yeah, I agree, man. Well, we're out of time, Dave. Anything else for fantasy football rankings and sleepers and busts?
No, just keep eyeing that Arizona Cardinals situation and the Jonathan Taylor situation because that's going to definitely change some fantasy landscapes over the next week here.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the big things to watch right now, especially the Taylor news. Arizona quarterback, you're probably not starting him, but it's just something.
It definitely can affect the rest of that team though, too. So
yeah, it does for sure. Zach Ertz, and just like you mentioned, and any receivers that are poor Rondale Moore, man. Yeah, I had so much promise for Rondale Moore, but that kid, man, he definitely moved down in the rankings because of the whole situation with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals and how bad they are. That is just their front office openly saying, we want to suck because we want Caleb Williams from USC next year, my man. All right, Dave. Thanks so much for coming on, my friend. My friends, if you guys have any questions for us, feel free to tweet us at the Oddsbreakers, emails at info@theoddsbreakers.com. Enjoy the rest of the week and go get some winners.